beloved brother of Leanne, Ralph, Patrick, and John, former companion to Alicia Kirtley, and most dearly beloved father to Sophia Colbus, beloved uncle and friend. We're going to sing today, This is the Day. This comes from Psalm 118. This is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. You'll turn it over. We'll find that we're going to now have a eulogy from Monty. Monty, would you come?
I'm going to have to lean against this.
You will? Okay.
We are here today in remembrance of James Joseph Colbus, who all of us know as Jimmy, our friend, our brother, our uncle, and father. He was many things to many people. We have many roles that we must play in our lives, and Jimmy excelled in all of them. While he enjoyed his many roles, his favorite was that of father to his beautiful daughter, Sophia. Jimmy's always had time for all of us. He always listened to our problems and helped us with what we needed done. And he shared his life with us. Uncle Jimmy, as he was called by my children and grandchildren, he was universally loved by all. He was uncle to many nieces and nephews, many of which are here today. He was a friend to most everyone he met, no matter where he was. He was a very sharing and caring person. To me, he was my wingman and my friend, who always had my back as I always had his. I will miss him very much, as I'm sure you all will too. His honesty and friendship was truly remarkable. Well, I could go on for hours talking about Jimmy, but there's going to be time for us all later in the service to be able to say something, so, Pastor. Thank you.
I want us to read a couple of scriptures. John 3:16, which you may know very well, and Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. John 3 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life." And Proverbs chapter 3 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will direct your paths." What I'd like to do right now is I'd like to open the microphone here to a couple of people to share a word or two. And I think, Candace, were you going to share something to get us started?
Sure.
So why don't you come?
My name is Candace Colbus. I'm sister-in-law to Jim. Pat, my husband, is in China right now, so he wasn't able to be here today, but he sent me an email last night. And I'll forewarn you, I'm a crybaby, so. The first thing that Pat said was, "I love my brother." We went through all the things that brothers do growing up together, sharing good days and bad days. For the longest time, Jim struggled with burdens that he could never seem to shake. But even when with those burdens, he was always giving of himself to others. I remember his dedication to hard work and how skillful his hands were. How there was always a sort of a twinkle in his eye and a hearty laugh and his tight hugs and the "Hey brother, I love you." The time he would spend with Dad and Mavis working in their yard without expecting anything in return, just wanting to be helpful in a meaningful way. There was lots of love poured into everything that he did for others. How much joy he took in fishing and sharing that with others, especially with our family. He said that, my husband said that one of his favorite memories was when Jim took Pat and myself and our sons to the Nisqually River. Do you guys remember that? He didn't fish, he just enjoyed watching us. Jim was a brother to me, and not just my brother-in-law. He would call me all hours of the day and night, and whether he was happy or sad, when he just wanted to share something special like Sophia's first fish, or news about his garden. We would spend hours of time on the phone talking about the gardens. We would compare notes. We would especially talk about pumpkins. We had a bet that every year that my garden was going to be better than his, and I only won that once. Jim, one of the things that Jim really enjoyed was gardening with Sophia and then sharing the produce or the fruits of his labor with others. We spent most of our life outside of Washington because we were in the Navy, so we didn't get to spend a lot of time together with Jim. But when we came home for visits, we were always connected, and it wasn't as if it wasn't at a family gathering, it was at Denny's on 108th and Pacific. I hate that place. But Jim loved it. Sometimes Sophia would come with Jim, and Pat said that he just loved watching Jim interact with Sophia and how much they enjoyed each other's company. He's also said, "I'll forever cherish the moment in time when Jim turned the corner on his burdens and overcame them. 5 years sober. Good job, Jim. We're so proud of you. We're glad that you finally allowed God to direct your paths." Pat ends by saying, "I will always love my brother, and not a day will go by that I won't think of him."
Somebody else like to share?
I'm Ann Kirkley, and what impressed me with Jim was I was visiting Alicia from New York State, and she said, "This guy wants to meet you, Mom." And I said, "This guy wants to meet me? Which guy wants to meet me?" She said, "He's a friend." And I said, "So a friend of yours wants to meet me? Why does he want to meet me?" She said, "He just wants to meet you, Mom." So the next day I was leaving to go back to New York, and Jim came, and he slept on the floor that night in the living room so that he could say goodbye to me when I left 5 a.m. to go get my flight back to New York. I left thinking, he's more than a friend. But you just have to wait and let time say whatever it says. That's one of my favorite remembrances of Jim, is that he wanted to meet me for some reason.
Someone else like to share? Another volunteer? You coming?
My name is Mike O'Hara. I'm Jim's oldest cousin, would be the best way to put it. I was thinking about when I received the news from Leanne and Ralph, actually. I was thinking about what I remember about Jim. And a couple of things I remember about him is that he was absolutely the most non-negative person I ever met. I mean, he had nothing bad to say. We all do that. We talk a lot and say things about people. He never did. And he had this cute way of grinning. And that picture that I posted in Facebook, he was smiling because we just decorated my brother Kevin's car. He just got married, and he loved it. He had this impish grin on his face. And, you know, occasionally you would find him like that. He always got in trouble because he went along with other people, pretty much. That's the way it was. But I remember specifically, whenever all the coal was piled out of a pink rim or station wagon all the way from Minnesota, and there were these two bookend blonde boys, Mikey and Jimmy, and you couldn't hardly tell the difference for about a year or so. They were very similar, but Mikey was like his sister. He talked a lot, but Jimmy was really quiet, and you just had to. But in hearing some of the testimony about him just wanting to be with people and help people or just have them have a good time, I think that pretty well personifies Jimmy. Is he just always seemed, he never wanted things for himself that I would notice, but he just always wanted other people to enjoy themselves and have a good time.
Somebody else? Another volunteer?
I'm kind of a crier too, so sorry. I'm married to Takesha, his niece, and my favorite memory of Jim was back in '91. We were dating in high school. I don't know, '91's like a long time ago, and I had gotten approval from Mom already, Leanne, Takesha's mom, but it wasn't official until I got approval from Uncle Jim. So we're doing homework. We were doing homework in her room, and all of a sudden, she goes, "Oh, Uncle Jim's here," and I was like, "Oh man." So, I swear, it went for like 2 minutes. I'm going, "Oh man, this is gonna be bad." Okay. So all of a sudden, he slowly leans in. He had that awesome hair, beautiful hair of his, right? And he leans in and he goes, "Hey, so you're Kyle?" I'm like, "Hello, sir." He shook my hand, and you know, he was really cool about it, and we were very close from that moment on. And you know, a little while ago, we were at our house at a barbecue, and I told that story, and he said, "You know, I knew you were right for my niece, and you know, we have 3 daughters now, and he's always been there for them and stuff, and I'm gonna miss him. He was a cool dude, and I love you, man." That's
Got a couple more, Rose?
Hello, my name is Leanne. I'm Monty's wife. Jim has been a family friend for many, many years. He was Monty's helper, and he went above and beyond whenever he came over to our house. He would not only do the jobs Mom would give him, but he'd come up to me and say, "Hey Mama, what can I do for you?" And he'd throw out the garbage, or he'd sweep the floor, or he'd carry something for me. And when he'd leave, he'd give me a hug and he says, "You know, I'm really glad you're in my life. And I'm really going to miss that I'm going to." And there's one other reminder that, small announcement, there's a little pig on the table at the memorial for him, and it's in lieu of flowers. If anybody would like to donate a little money, it's for Sophia's college fund. Thank you.
We should.
Hi, my name is Krista. I probably play a very significant role in Jimmy's life since I've only have known him for a few years. But I just wanted to share so I am the wife of Mont and Margaret. Their son, Michael Barnes, is my husband. And Jimmy and Mike are good buddies. And I remember the first time that I met Jimmy. I'm not much of a hugger or a feeler of a person, but he came down and he gave me the biggest bear hug. And it was the most comforting and the most loving and the most sincere hug. And you know, that was just Jimmy. And from the very moment that I met him, he was the most accepting and the most loving person. I came into this family with 2 boys, and he never made me feel like I didn't belong.
I'm a crier too. Nobody was loving you.